Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sully Squad. We got a lot to get into tonight. We got a couple good things. We got a red hot Philadelphia Phillies baseball team. I mean, the Phillies are tied 19 wins. They're tied with the Yankees, Braves, and and somebody else has 19 wins too. I'm drawing a blank. I think there's 4 teams. You guys know who they are or not?
No, Dodgers?
Nah, well, whatever. Phillies are tied with the Braves and Yankees right now, 19 wins. So anyway, red hot. Alec Boehm, player of the week. I think he had like 540 or something on the road trip. So Alec Boehm killing it, hitting, pitching.
Ranger
Suarez is like, if the season ended today, he's in contention for the Cy Young Award.
Oh yeah.
And just loving what I'm seeing with the Philadelphia Phillies. So we'll get into a little Phillies later. And then the other piece of good news, at least on paper, it seems like a lot of people kind of liked what the Philadelphia Eagles did with the draft. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely. Everyone loved that.
Yeah.
And then of course we got to get to the bad news, which was another heartbreaking loss down at the Wachovia Center, although I thought it was MSG South down that John, though, to be honest
The
with
Wachovia Center.
Wells Fargo, baby.
They called it the Wachovia Center.
What did I say? Did I say the Wachovia Center?
Yeah. What
I meant Wells Fargo. See, I'm showing my age. Hey, at least I didn't call it the FU Center. You know what I mean?
The Wachovia Center.
Yeah,
That's
what the hell
basically
am I
how it
saying? Wells Fargo. Well, you know what? Hey, the Wachovia Center wouldn't have been taken over like the Wells Fargo was.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
There would have been a lot of fucking fights at the Wachovia Center the other day. That would have been brawl after brawl back then.
New York is going home.
But wasn't it the Wachovia Center when AI played?
No.
What was it?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I forget. They had so many fucking names. They changed
the name so many times.
Yeah, whatever. All right, but anyway, regardless, all right, the Sixers took the L yesterday. They're down 3-1. So we're going to get into all that. Let's start off with the Sixers. First off, I got my usual cast. I got my man Sean Kilrain to my side right there. What's up, Sean? How you doing?
What's up, fellas? Sean.
All right, and then to the side of Sean here, I got my man Mr. 6 for 6, Diego the Hammer Bianchi, with the still repping the Sixers, bro. I give you props. And You know what? I'm still going to rep them too, bro. I'm doing Eagles tonight, but I'll be wearing my Sixers tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, how you doing, Diego?
All right. Fuck the Knicks.
Exactly.
I can't stand them motherfuckers. They're fans. I hate them. And they suck.
Yeah, but unfortunately, hang on. I got one comment here. Mike Lauro says, "Sup, boys, trade Embiid." Well, listen, Joel Embiid's Game 3 performance is like one of the all-time greatest playoff performances that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you figure he had 50 points on 19 shots. That's almost unheard of, okay? And and he was unreal, and he's averaging
crazier stat. In Game 3, he had 15 points in the fourth quarter. He only took 2 shots, made 1. That's
why, because he was going to the line.
Because he got to the line every single play.
Yeah, so
that's hard to do, and they were legit fouls in that game. I don't blame Embiid at all for this series. Everyone could say trade Embiid. Embiid's he's at 70%. He got you 30, the first 2 games, over 30 the first 2 games. He got you 50 in game 3, and on a bad game yesterday, he still got you 27 points. And he played, what, every minute in the second half almost?
Listen, all right. So here's where I'm at with you. I'm kind of with you, Diego. Like it's hard for me to put this. To me, I'm putting this series on the supporting cast. Okay, much more than Embiid, but we do got to keep it 100 here, right? If you look, Embiid was unbelievable in game 3, all-time great performance. Every other fourth quarter, games 1, 2, and yesterday, he's running out of gas. Now, I give him props. For playing.
We knew that, though. We knew the conditioning was going to be an issue coming into the playoffs. So coming into the playoffs, you shouldn't have been looking at Embiid to get you 40 points every night, or Embiid to be taken over down the stretch when we know he's not conditioned. Embiid comes in, gets you 30 points. The other guys got to finish the fucking job. Kelly Oubre, fucking 8.8 points a game for Tobias Harris over the last 4 games.
I know.
You averaged 17.2 points a game in the season.
Yeah, Mike Lauro says it right here. He says Embiid needs help, and
that's not, like, we're a pretty blame Embiid podcast here. Go back to the last playoffs. Go to the playoffs before that we talked on this show. We've been a really blame Embiid podcast. This ain't Embiid's fault this time. Nobody steps up. Nobody wants to help him. No one wants to box out and get rebounds. Everything's on Maxey if it's not on Embiid. Mistake after mistake after mistake. Coaching has sucked.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Thibodeau yesterday in particular took Nick Nurse's lunch money. I mean, like you brought it up, Diego, how they ran that 2-man game with the little pick up top, like all day.
Game 3. Didn't go to it once yesterday.
Yeah, and so listen, like I said, I mostly agree with you on Embiid. I'm not willing to like hammer him over this series, but I will say, listen, it's unfair. I realize it's unfair. The man's given us everything he's got out there, but I'm sorry though. We went 5 minutes without a field goal yesterday. I know it's hard. I know he's playing hurt. Bro, big guy got it. He's got to get that fucking ball and find a way to get to the line. There's no excuse how you can be an MVP in this league and your team goes 5 minutes.
I hear you, but check this out. If you would have found a way to get a backup center, a real backup center this year, you would have been able to give Embiid 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. But because you have nobody out there with size, nobody out there that can rebound, nobody out there that can protect the rim, you got no choice but to play Embiid every single minute in the second half when he's at 50% conditioned.
Yeah,
it's unblamable. That's what I'm saying. I love to blame Embiid. This is unblameable on Embiid. You didn't. The roster. You didn't. Paul Reed's fucking horrible. Almost unplayable. The only reason he gets minutes is because you have to give somebody minutes to get Embiid a couple minutes of fucking break. It's not like the shit you see in the Sixers is unacceptable. Because in reality, I don't care what anyone says about the Knicks. The Knicks blow. The Knicks won 50 games this year. They're a 2 seed. There's 7 teams that have a better record than the Knicks this year. Sixers would have made it 8 if Embiid don't get hurt. But last year, 4 teams in the East won 50 games. The year before that, 4 teams in the East won over 50 games. Knicks blow. Knicks are a 4 seed. That's what kind of team they really are. They shouldn't be competitive. It's just everybody, they're just getting out-hustled every fucking play.
Yep.
It's literally coming down to effort. It's not coming down what team's better. It's coming down one team wants it more and the other team don't want it.
See, I think I kind of, here's the problem though. Like everybody says the Sixers are better, and they do have the best player in Joel Embiid, and they probably have arguably 1A/2. Because, like Brunson's probably number 2, Maxey's right there, right? So you figure Sixers have 2 of the 3 best guys on playing in the series. The Knicks have like the next 7 or 8, though, bro. That's
fine. Where's Nick Nurse's answer for some fucking defense? Where's Nick Nurse's answer on some strategy to try to stop Jalen Brunson in the last 2 games? He got 33 and 47.
Where are the offense and defense?
That's what I mean. There's we can always blame Embiid, and I get it. This time, there's so much more shit that's not Embiid. The bench got you 7 points, 10 points in the first 2 games. Loss. Third game, got you 18. Win. Yesterday, got you 6 points. There's like so much more blame to go around than Embiid this time. It's not Embiid came up short against the Celtics with a 3-2 lead. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same series.
Embiid has that injury, like we brought up last week, in his head. You could see it every motion, every play. It's like that one play he tripped over. Who was it? Mitchell Robinson? Like he stepped on. You could see that look on his eyes when me and Joe were watching it yesterday, and I'm like, he still has that injury in the back of his mind. But
imagine he's still averaging 35 points a game.
Yeah, I know.
He leads the playoffs in points per game. Maxi's the 8th leading scorer in points per game in the playoffs, and we're down 3-1 to a Knicks team who probably has one player in the top 25 points per game scorer in the playoffs.
We need to rebound. I mean, it's just atrocious.
But the Knicks. But you know, I hear you. But the Knicks do the little things to win ball games. Like, look, I'm looking right here. Knicks out rebounded the Sixers 52-42. Offensive rebounds, Knicks 15, Sixers 9. Honestly, I thought it was worse than that. But you know, but here's the problem.
It always came at the big time of the game.
Right. That's the thing. Like DiVincenzo hasn't had a great series. Okay, he hits the big shot in game 2 because it comes to us. If that John goes out to Tobias, he's bricking that John.
100%.
Right? Then yesterday, DiVincenzo really didn't do that much. But what did he do? He hit 2 big ass threes. Like,
we went up 10 points in the second. We went up 10 points in the second quarter. Sixers could possibly run away. DiVincenzo back-to-back threes. 4-point game. They're right back in it.
Yeah, exactly. And the Sixers, like Josh Hart yesterday. Josh Hart didn't have a great day, numbers wise, but he had 17 rebounds. He played 46 minutes, 17 rebounds. You know who crushed us yesterday? He hadn't done shit all series. OG Anunoby had 16 points and 14 boards in 47 minutes.
Honestly, I cannot wait. For the Knicks to give that dude a max contract because OG's fucking booty.
Yeah, but he's definitely not a max player. But again, him and them do little things to win ball games, and that's
fine. But if you're the Knicks, let's be real. If you're going to give OG a max and you got Brunson on the max, you ain't never win the championship.
Yeah, I mean
you ain't never win the championship.
They need like another, they need you know what they need? They need a really good dominant like scoring wing to go along with Brunson. Then they'd be
100%. They need the Knicks can be all happy all they want. The Knicks have a 0% chance of winning the championship.
Yeah, but you know one thing they do have. The one thing they do have though is that players will want to
go to New York.
Want to go there. You know what I mean?
Definitely will.
Just
big market, but they need something else. If OG's there, I hope they lock up OG on a max. Because I don't think OG's a max player. I think OG's the type of player that you regret giving him all that money as his career goes on. Just like Tobias. Even though he gives you a little bit more. He gives you a little bit more on the glass. But max player? Do you see max player on OG?
No.
Knicks better be careful. Because they got to play Indiana after this series. And Indiana moves the ball. They don't depend on one guy to beat you. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a tough series for the Knicks. I think they beat Indiana, but it's a tough series for the Knicks.
Well, so I mean, I know it looks bleak that we're down 3-1, but you're saying the series is pretty much over. Is there any hope that
I'm not saying it's over. Sixers ain't done yet because I think the Sixers are better than the Knicks. I don't think the Knicks are that good.
You just said Indiana and the Knicks, though.
I did because 3-1. I mean, what are the chances? You gotta expect that the Knicks are going to win 1 out of the next 3 games. Got to expect they're going to win 1. You know,
True.
But in reality, there's been teams that came back from 3-1.
Oh,
there's, you know what I'm saying? There's been better teams that got behind in series and still won the series. So we're not done yet. The chances are slim.
Yeah, well, Diego, check this out, right? I'm not giving up either. So remember, I told you I found them Sixers sneaks I found them Sixers fire ass sneaks online.
Yeah, you just got them.
See if you could see them. These Jones just came in. Now watch. Look, here's
They're the lucky shoes.
Yeah, here we go. So
they're the lucky shoes, Joe.
I'm gonna rock these Jones tomorrow, bro.
Nice.
So let's see,
they're fire.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like how they have the AI. They have the AI. What do you call it? The AI one. Like right here, you got the AI, and then they got the modern day too. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like
fire.
A nice little mix.
Nice.
But anyway,
the lucky charm.
Look at them.
What's that?
Don't let Lee look at them.
Don't let Lee touch them motherfuckers.
Yeah, don't let this man look at these shoes or look at the TV, you know?
Lace them up. Yeah, don't dare.
So, all right, well, like I said, things look bleak. Diego, but you're giving them a chance. I don't know why. I have a feeling they're going to win tomorrow night. I just do. I have a feeling they're going to find a way to win tomorrow night because – if you think about it, this series I think has only been decided like for the first 4 games. I think there's only like a 4 or 5 point difference total in the series, something like that.
Knicks won game 1 by 7. Knicks won game 1 by 7. They won game 2 by 3. Sixers won game 3 by 11. And then what did they win by yesterday?
5.
By 5.
Yeah.
The Knicks win by a couple possessions. The Knicks beat us in very close games. That's what I mean. They don't beat us because Embiid doesn't score enough points or Maxey didn't score enough points. They strictly beat us because they get 2 or 3 key rebounds over us that gives them second chance points. And like that block Josh Hart made on Batum. Like every player just makes a big play. It doesn't always come down to points. We scored 97 and 92 points yesterday.
Yeah, you know who I thought was a really big unsung guy for the Knicks last night was what yesterday was that guy
Ochoa.
Ochoa, yeah, Precious Ochoa. Now, not really numbers. Actually, you know what? Even numbers wise, he had 2.7 rebounds in 20 minutes. I mean, he's not going to jump off the screen at you numbers wise, but like he played pretty good defense and. With Hartenstein in foul trouble and Mitchell Robinson out, see that's the killer right there. And here's another one too. Not only with Robinson being out, but how about how they lost Bogdanovich early in the game?
As soon as the game started.
Yeah. But you think about it now. Robinson probably will be back tomorrow night. But let's go forward. Let's stop crying over yesterday because. Hey, we could keep crying over yesterday. We could say how it was a disgrace, how our stadium got taken over, how the team failed to show up in the fourth quarter. But if we look forward now, can't play tomorrow night, and Mitchell Robinson is still kind of struggling a little bit, Sixers definitely have a really good shot to win up there tomorrow night.
They do. The problem is fucking guys like McBride are coming and hitting huge threes. Like they have guys that just. The Knicks have just guys that are willing to make big shots to help the team out. For us, it's like if Embiid and Maxey can't make a big shot, nobody else is.
Has anybody seen Buddy Hield? He's on the milk carton.
That's what I mean. Now we can bench because Buddy Hield's unplayable, and Melton's got a broken back.
Okay, but I'm not blaming Nick Nurse because you're right. But
fully healthy, Covington and Melton healthy, this series ain't close.
No.
This series ain't close.
I know they're young, but the fact that we're getting so beaten on the glass, but because the Knicks are so much more athletic, can we give, Can you give KJ Martin a little bit of run, or can you give
you need that.
That's true. I agree with that too. He hasn't even tried them guys.
Yeah.
Like for example, Achua's their third center, right? He threw him in there because he had to, right? Towards the end of the game, like the last 5 minutes, he could have put Hartenstein back in. He didn't put Hartenstein back in. He was like, this guy's playing good. I'm going to keep giving him run. Why not just throw KJ Martin out there for a couple minutes? If he gets you a couple key boards, he gets you a couple putbacks, it was worth the fucking minutes. If not, he ain't giving you nothing different than Tobias Harris.
Yeah, I mean,
it brings a different energy, like you said. Get them in there, and see what happens. You never know, like you said. I mean, but like you said, tomorrow's the night where you got to throw all your chips on the table. Go big or go home.
This series ain't over. Look, you win tomorrow night, you come back home, right? We should win at home. Like we should have won the last 2 games. We should win at home. If the Sixers find a way to force Game 7, Knicks are going to be shitting themselves. They haven't been in that situation yet. Sixers have been on the other side of this. They've been up on Boston. You know what I'm saying? They've been up on teams and they blew leads. Knicks have never been like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's time where all them fucking times we got down in series against good teams and couldn't find, or like got up on series and then lost the series. Maybe that finds a way to help us now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but like I said, we need the bench to contribute first and foremost. None of this BS shit. Rebound, shoot threes when they mean it and count. We need some kind of unsung hero, like the Knicks have had, like your McBride said, your Precious Amanua. So far we haven't seen anything. I think it is time to get the Martin kid in. Give it that spark. See what it gives. Campaign. I don't care. Ricky Council, somebody, has to want it more than them. But we'll see tomorrow.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I thought part of the reason you signed Ricky Council to a contract is to give you the option of possibly playing him a few minutes here or there. I realize it was more of a futures. Obviously, it's more of a futures thing because, you really don't have many guys under contract, and then they're going to target somebody that's making some, they're going to target a max type player, in the off season. So, so you need some cheap guys, but, I thought maybe they give them some run. So, all right,
here's a thought. Here's a thought for the now you brought up the all season, right? Let's be real. This is not Nick Nurse's team. This was a team built by Doc Rivers, you know what I'm saying? And it was built differently. Do you even look to add a third max player to this? Or do you look for Nick Nurse to build a roster that he really likes? Certain role players, certain key players, guys who are going to rebound, like the way he built Toronto, kind of.
Yeah.
It's funny because, by the way, I mean, you all saw how the Suns got boat raced, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it almost, I mean, are the days of like the 2-3 guys on a super team, are they kind of over? Because it seems like some of these teams with more depth and more are going further than the super teams.
I agree.
Seems like it. Yeah.
So maybe
it seems like a super team's a thing of the past, and people found ways to beat that. Like, all right, you only have 3 guys. We know we know how to beat that.
But that said though,
give me KD.
I was gonna say, here's hoping that KD decides to leave Phoenix, because even though it seems like he can't pick the right spot, I'll tell you, I'd be pretty excited this offseason if Phoenix was like, all right, we're going to blow this up. And then KD's like, all right, I'm going to go try to win with Joel. It's so funny though. All this shit we're talking about adding all these role players and shit. Let KD want to come to Philly. We'll be like, all right, we'll take KD.
Well, is that a reason you do give a guy like Council that small contract?
Yeah, because you'd have to play guys like him.
Yeah. Like Melton. Melton, for example. Melton might have no value because of his back. Bring a guy like that back.
True.
Real cheap.
Hey, listen. We'll have a lot of off-season talk soon. Hopefully not as soon as tomorrow night. So let's make our Game 5 predictions here, and then we'll get into some NFL draft talk. All right, so I know, Diego, I know you said – oh, hang on, I got one comment here. Mike Fuji. Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing?
What's
up? All right, so let's do Game 5 predictions. Do they win tomorrow night? Actually, you know what? Let's do tomorrow night, and if they win tomorrow night – hang on. Got another one here. Steve Greenjack, man, this series is over.
Shut up, Steve.
I'm kind of feeling that way too, but you know what though? You never know. I have a sneaky feeling they could win tomorrow night. So let's make, all right. Does this go 7? All right. So does this go 7, and do they have a chance to win the series? I asked both you guys.
I don't know if it goes 7, but I think it definitely goes 6.
Okay. Sean?
Oh man, it's the way they played yesterday. I hope they win tomorrow, but I mean, I don't know. I'm torn. Probably 6, just like Diego. It ain't going game 6, 7.
All right. So I have a feeling. I have a sneaky feeling they're going to steal a game tomorrow night,
Okay.
and then we're gonna get our hopes up down here in Philly. We're going to be like, all right, we're going to win game 6, force a game 7. The Knicks are going to come down here and beat us and beat us here in game 6.
But you got Knicks in 6.
Yeah, I got Knicks.
I got Knicks in 7.
Steve Greenjack, time to blow this thing up. Honestly, this crap ain't working. Build around Mad Max at this point.
I mean, in reality, after the season, it does get all. After the season, it is blown up. All you got left after the season is Embiid, Maxey, and Paul Reed. There's nobody else on the contract. You can't blow a team up. You can't blow a team. Oh, and Ricky Council. You can't blow a team up more than next year.
Well,
start from scratch.
And if there is a silver lining, if they lose in the first round, anybody that's not
Paul Reed.
Yeah, Paul Reed's contract becomes non-guaranteed. So,
I mean, how do you? I mean, you're literally go to scratch after this season with 2 guys who are proven to be 2 of the best players in the league as of right now, and then just build the right. The Sixers haven't found a way to build the right team around fucking Embiid yet. They tried it with Brett Brown, failed. They tried it with Doc Rivers, failed. Let's hope Nick Nurse can find a way to finally build the right team around Embiid. And that's our only hope as Sixers fans.
Yeah,
I like to see Paul George before we end on this.
You can't trade Embiid. Like that is it's just insane to trade Embiid. And it might make sense right now because his value's up, but let's be real. No one trades their 30-year-old superstar who's generating, you know what I'm saying? Like that just doesn't happen in the NBA.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of team way to build a team, let's get into some NFL draft. And Mike Fuji, I agree with Mike Fuji. He says
right.
He says a solid draft by the Birds. I mean,
I think it's better than solid.
Yeah, I love what they did. So let's break it down. Let's break it down here. I mean, the first round you got Quinyon Mitchell, 22nd overall. The move.
Sean, you see him play?
What's that?
Have you seen him play, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is he good?
Absolutely. He's got everything. He's 5-tool corner. He's got the speed. He likes to tackle. He ain't shying away from that. Everybody's knock on him. He played for Toledo. I get that. But as a player, he can play. He plays the game. He knows the game. And then like Joey said, with Cooper DeJean moving up to 40, that's a solid pick. We got the white boy Jason Sehorn 2.0, like I said. And
yeah, last week I didn't say I wanted a white corner. I didn't mean I didn't want a white corner at pick 40.
What did I tell you?
I just didn't want him as my first pick. I am fine with him being my second pick. That's a great pick.
That is a Vic Fangio, like me and Sully were talking about. Fangio had his hand in this draft.
Definitely.
And he's you could put him anywhere. I mean, whatever defense we're going to run, plug and play. Basically, I love it. And then Fangio loved Jackson Hunt. He was a safety converted to a DN. So, I mean,
I'm sorry.
I think you're going to see tons of Cooper DeJean jerseys at the link, bro.
Cooper DeJean.
I'll buy one right now. Stop playing, Green Jack.
Well, so
I didn't want him at 22. At 40, Cooper DeJean's a steal. Might be the best pick of the draft at 40.
But we all can agree. How about the offensive haul and how everything just fell into place for us to address our defensive needs, like the quarterbacks, the wide receivers. And, I mean, it gets no better than having Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. And Saban said it himself. He wanted him to come to Alabama, but he wanted to be loyal to Toledo.
Yeah, I like that about him.
Yeah, we got two kick-ass players, man. I love it.
See, I 100% agree with Steve Greenjack here.
I agree.
He says, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was telling you DeJean was viewed more as a safety and would play the Jenkins role. That's exactly what I think he's going to do. They even said it on the when they drafted him. They said it on NFL Network or ESPN. I forget which one I was watching.
NFL Network.
Yeah, but they were. I mean, and not just the Malcolm Jenkins role, but like kind of like a hybrid. Like it could be like Malcolm Jenkins role / like Honey Badger type role. You know what I mean? And here's another one with Cooper DeJean too. To Cooper DeJean, I know I keep butchering his name, but he not only gets turnovers, but he returns them all the way. And another thing is too, with the new kickoff rules, he could be a factor in the return game too.
Not only him.
The thing is, though, I mean, what if he has all the measurables to be a good outside corner? It's hard to find really good outside corners. You know, I think it's harder to find a great outside corner than it is a safety. So if this kid can develop into a great outside corner, I think I'd rather see him there on the other side of Quinyon Mitchell, where you're pretty much shutting down everything on the right and the left side of the field, and you got CJ for the next 3 years. You know,
Dijon.
Do we have to play him on the outside? Do we have to play him at safety? You can play him anywhere.
Another thing too, Aeneas Smith, the wide receiver. He played running back, wide receiver for Texas A&M.
So like Deebo Samuel?
I think you're going to see Covey. Bye. His role is going to be diminished. You know.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Yeah, and Burntberry. See you later, Burntberry.
Yeah. The problem is, like I was saying to Joe, somebody else has to go. Eli Ricks, like one of these guys just aren't going to make.
This is who I want gone. There was no reason to sign him for 1 year. I don't give a shit. Avonte Maddox, Burntberry, get these young guys, the Ricks, the Ringos, get all that and just see what you got and play them preseason. Don't have them sit on the sideline. Let them get acclimated to the game. If not, we're back to square one. You got to get these guys to see who's your player and who's not. Basically.
Well, if they don't decide to move on from Avonte Maddox, I think Eli Rick's going to get the shitty end of the stick. Like I think it'd be Burntberry definitely cut. Yeah. Ricks, if you don't move cut Avonte Maddox and you wanted to bring him back for a year, it's probably going to end up being Ricks. But Joe made a good point earlier when we were talking. Sometimes guys just come up with a mystery pull hammy and get put on like a 6-week pup list, and they just have them sit there, make sure no injuries pop up in the first 6 weeks, and then when they do, he miraculously comes off the pup list because you can't put him on the practice squad. If not, someone's going to pick him up.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah, don't forget we also saw the Eagles also signed a slot corner from the Raiders. I forget his name, but the Eagles signed a slot. That's why I was a little surprised. That's why I was a little surprised they brought Maddox back because we signed a guy. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but guy that actually played a little slot for Las Vegas last couple years. Yeah, you know what? I tell you what, that's going to be something to watch for in the preseason. Watching the cornerback competition is going to be really interesting here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you guys? So we were talking about Vic Fangio handpicking defensive players. I think he had a big role in this Jalix Hunt guy. Edge rusher, 3rd round pick, 94th overall, edge rusher out of Houston Christian.
The dude used to be a safety.
Yeah, they say he's like a terrific athlete.
Look at
his hands and feet are probably quick.
6'4". Oh yeah, absolutely. 6'4", great weight. You know, good first step. And it's guys like these from these small colleges or colleges you never even heard of.
Have a chip
that just come out the woodwork. You know,
they got that chip on their shoulder when they go to them small schools. Yeah. They got so much more to prove.
And some of them are even better than half these pros that have that glamorous name that you pick. you know.
Yeah, where did James Harrison go to school? He didn't go to a big school, did he?
Did he go to Kent? Did he go to Kent State?
Yeah.
Kent?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, sometimes
Steve McNair, Alcorn State. Come on, like who would have thought? Kent State, just like Diego said. I seen something on Instagram. Julian Edelman. Oh, you're too small. You can't play. He goes, I'm going to be in the NFL. Where was
There he is. Yeah.
3-time Super Bowl champ. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The kid looks like he's in 6'4", 250.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's he transferred from somewhere. I thought it was Dartmouth.
Cornell. Yeah, Steve just said Cornell.
Yeah, Cornell.
There you go.
So, all right, let's look at some of these other picks you got. First off, I thought Howie did a great job trading down and getting picks for next year because the Eagles may have they may get hit a pick for supposedly tampering with Saquon Barkley, so they might lose like a 3rd or 4th round pick or something. Well, Howie picked up an extra 3, an extra 4, and an extra 5 for next year. So
great pickups.
If they do lose a pick, it won't be the end of the world. But looking at some of these other picks here,
we got your guy, Sean. Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to have a guy's son come here to kind of make the legacy still go on.
Continue.
Yeah.
And even his dad praised him on WIP. He goes, he's better than me. I trained him and I coached him to be better than me. And I mean, I want to see him shine and, maybe take over Nick. Who knows when Nakobe Dean? We don't know. He's undersized. Hopefully he does take his ass out of the mix. But, yeah, I mean, did I want other linebackers? Yeah, but we got the little axe, the hatchet. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him don the 54 that we all seen and loved.
Yeah.
He's got big shoes to fill, but I think he's up for the challenge. It's in his blood.
What'll make the link go nuts if he comes down on like a special teams tackle and he breaks out the Axeman celebration.
Yeah,
it's already been said. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to hype up that crowd.
Yeah, what do you guys think of this? Another pick they had, round 4, number 127, Will Shipley from Clemson. Steve Greenjack brings that up here. He said, dude, the Shipley pick is sneakily good. I watched the kid vaguely at Clemson.
I was reading that he was a lot like Christian McCaffrey was at Stanford. Now, we can't say he's going to be Christian McCaffrey because that's crazy. But if
he has to prove it,
if he's 55% of Christian McCaffrey, that's a good pick in that round.
It's a good pick. He can catch, run. The only thing is, I think
he's small.
Steve, he's 5'11". He's my
size, he's small.
But for a back, I mean, that's what we like. We like those backs. We don't get the Braylon that went to the Jets, 6'2", 230. Isaac Guerrero, Louisville, went to the 49ers. I mean, but this kid, like Steve said, he's shifty, he's sneaky, and only thing he doesn't do is block a lot, but he has that overall talent. It fits the offense. What we do in this particular offense more.
Yeah,
nice.
They said on the scouting report. Fuji says Shipley looks versatile, and they said on the scouting report that one of his weaknesses is pass pro. He's going to have to get that squared away because that's the one thing. You got a $200-some million quarterback. If you can't pass pro, you're not going to see a lot of time on the field. But I think Shipley returns kicks too. That's one thing. If you notice, the Eagles added a lot of guys with special teams value.
Smith, Shipley.
Yeah, Covey's gone. We're going to need that spot this year.
Well, you guys remember, Covey actually had a pretty good year last year.
He did have a good year.
But remember, I remember saying this. Covey was set. Remember when reporters were asking people
it was him.
Was going to the locker room, and Covey had a lot to say. Now, he didn't really say anything bad, but I know from all these years of watching football, and Sean, you could probably attest to this. teams don't like guys that talk. As soon as he opened up his mouth, and again, he didn't say anything bad, but I said to you guys, I was like, you know what? I was like, I said it wouldn't shock me if they found a way to replace Covey, because teams don't like that shit, especially just from a punt returner.
I was gonna say, if you ain't good enough to talk, if you ain't good enough to have a starting position job on the regular on any team in the NFL, keep your mouth shut. Covey, you ain't that good. They ask you a question. They ask you a question where you gotta talk about the team, and you don't even participate besides anything on special teams. You just keep your mouth shut. Next question.
It's not only that, Diego. It's like what they say: whatever you say, you keep behind closed doors.
Or that
needs to know. Like if me and you are having beef, let us handle it. Nobody needs to know.
The thing is, though, like AJ Brown can come out and say shit. I ain't happy. That's why I was yelling at them, blah, blah, blah. Because people go, all right, AJ Brown's one of the best wide receivers in this game. We need him. He's so big for our team. But if you're Britton Covey, we just said 4 guys that can take this guy's job. You know, you can't really say that about AJ Brown. Like, no one on the team's taking his job. We ain't got a guy better than that. We got guys now that can return kicks.
Absolutely. I mean, all in all, I mean, we addressed the little needs, like you said, the return game, punt game. DeJean can do punts. Aeneas Smith, Shipley, return kicks. And then moving forward from there, you got Johnny Johnny, what's the wide receiver? You got the paper in front of you, the 6'6", 230.
Wallace?
Receiver from
is it Wallace?
Johnny He's from FSU. The kid's big. You know, he's in a crowded backfield with the wideouts, but they said, I guess they're going to evaluate the tight ends. At worst case scenario, they said they might put him at tight end. But we got so many damn tight ends. You got to trim that fat. Calicanterra, concussion, boom, see you later. You know, you got Albert O, who you traded for Denver. Is he actually going to play? Does he know the playbook? We don't know.
Wait, didn't we just pick up another tight end from the Jets?
Albert.
Yeah.
Uwa. Yeah, you know who he is, Joe. Yeah.
Who's used to play for the Bengals too.
For the Bengals. Yeah, CJ Uzoma.
There you go.
Yeah, he's good. He's serviceable. And then you got Dallas Goedert. I mean, and then you got the Samoan dude that's on the practice squad. I don't know his name. It begins with an F. But anyway, you got a crowded backfield with tight ends. But the O-lineman, what do you guys think about the drafting of the O-lineman, Keegan? And then the guy, center from North Carolina State, Dylan. What's his name?
Dylan McMahon. You know what? It's funny. So we'll just go down the So they took round 5.
Joe made a good point. You made a good point earlier, Joe, that you can't take enough linemen at the end of the draft. Because if you hit on 1 out of every 15, it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, here's what I was thinking. So the guy Dylan McMahon, center from North Carolina State, he's a little intriguing because he he's not the biggest guy, but I think I read somewhere where he was like 13th best athletically, like in the last like so many years or something like that, as far as like interior offensive linemen. And you know, so for a 6th-round pick, you know, you bring in a kid like that as a good athlete. You know, Stoutland works with him. Maybe even Kelsey comes in, checks out training camp. You know, maybe somebody teaches him, you know, a couple vet techniques. Vet techniques. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to make it or anything, but I mean, to take a guy that's a good athlete late in the draft, I think it always makes sense to do that. You know what I mean?
Speaking about Kelsey, did you guys see he's going to? You see, Kelsey's going to be the new on-field reporter for ESPN Monday Night Football?
Yeah. Good for him because, you know, a center's like a catcher in baseball. They have so much knowledge and information of the game because what are they doing? They're hiking the football to the center. I mean, the quarterback.
They're reading the defense like the quarterback's reading the defense.
Yeah, exactly. They're kind of calling the plays. They're saying that, lineman, you get this guy, you know, just like a catcher in the catcher. I mean, and it couldn't have happened to a better dude because his knowledge of the game is so influential and knowledgeal. You know? Oh, yeah, Johnny Wilson.
There's another guy, Johnny Wilson. I'm a little intrigued by him.
That's who Sean was talking about.
Yeah, Steve Greenjack says, hoping that kid's a part of the future.
Dude, 6'6", 230, 4'5" is a little freakish.
Yeah. Worst comes to worst, maybe he can. Maybe he could be a red zone guy. Although Pat Bernard said, "What's up, fellas? Hey, what's up,
What's good, Pat?"
We got Paul Spencer. Yeah, I was going to say that's one thing Baldinger said too. The kid Johnny Wilson has a lot of measurables, but Johnny Wilson led the NCAA in drop balls, so you definitely got to work on ball.
I would say, luckily that's something you can fix. Just like you can fix a running back from fumbling a lot.
Get on that damn jug machine.
That's it.
Catch as many damn balls like ODB. You know,
Mike Fuji says we picked up Becton from the Jets, and then Steve.
Love it. I love that Becton signing.
Yeah, so much depth on the O line.
Dude, you pay a guy $5.5 million who's been like, I guess you could say, sitting on the street.
That's a steal, dude.
That's a lot of money. I mean, but you're paying a guy a good amount of money, expecting him to have a good amount of talent.
I think he's going to bring. What is it? Change the scenery, like they say. I think it's guys the left
and we just have the best offensive line coach in the whole entire NFL.
There you go.
I was going to say I 100% agree with Steve Greenjack here.
Bingo.
In fact,
low risk reward.
I was really excited when they signed him too, and then I was watching. I put on YouTube it was like Baldinger breaking down Becton versus the Chargers last year, and they showed all these highlights of Khalil Mack trying to get around the corner and Bosa, and there was one play in particular where Bosa comes out and Becton hit him with like the right-handed jab, and Bosa just goes flying, dude. Like this dude,
he's huge. He's huge.
This dude's huge.
You can't teach that. It's like I said to you earlier, Joe, before Diego came on. It's proper technique. It's just like Reggie White's move, the rip under the arm, tap it back, boom. Fastest and lower man always wins is what I was taught, and that's the case.
No, I didn't see this. Steve Greenjack says he read they're going to try him at guard. I read they're bringing him in as a swing tackle, but
swing guard.
But
he's a huge guy, dude. You would clog up a big portion of that line if you could put him at guard.
Look, 6'7", 365.
He's a monster.
Is he kind of tall to play guard though? 6'7" awfully tall to play guard. I mean, but
I think
he's athletic and strong, though.
Tell you what, could you imagine running behind him and Lane on the right side, and then on the left side you got Dickerson and Malata? I mean, you got
that offensive line is huge.
You know what that line's called? Total eclipse.
Dude.
And we got Saquon Barkley running behind that,
dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, speaking of offensive lines, we got a comment about Dallas's draft here. CFF at OOTBS Sports says head scratcher needs left tackle and center, and you draft a right tackle in Guyton who played 70 snaps at left tackle in 3 years, and then they also said and a guard baby who also plays right guard, and you want to move him to center. Mind blowing.
Well, BB played both positions at K-State. And I think BB, the Eagles wanted him, so the Dallas Cowboys basically said, "There you go, we'll take him."
Yeah, well, I mean, the one thing I read, BB's a pretty good football player. I mean,
he is.
I read Guyton is super athletic, and he's raw
too. Got great feet.
That's what I'm saying. So, if you got a guy he played basketball, you said, Sean.
Yes.
He played basketball. He's super athletic. I'm sure if he's that athletic, I feel like he can move from the right to the left.
Oh yeah.
He can play. He's going to be able to play on either side.
BB's very athletic. He's athletic. He's got a mean streak and he's got good hands. Like the rip and maul you. So yeah, they got a good solid picks for.
Dallas lost what? 3 linemen.
Yeah.
2 linemen.
2 linemen, I believe, to Washington.
Yeah, they lost their left tackle to the Jets, and then they lost their center.
Yeah, so they needed the same way we were hurting at corner. We went corner. Dallas addressed their biggest need. We need linemen.
Paul Spencer says my JV as a 14-year-old, 6'5", 332 at guard. I'm running a 26 blast all day. Steve Greenjack says I was looking at the Cowgirls depth chart. They ain't looking too hot right now, honestly. They might have to fight the Commanders for that second spot, which would be crazy to see. Tell you what, I really like what the Commanders did in their draft.
Yes, yeah.
They're not going to be put if this kid from LSU can play a little bit, they're not going to be pushovers because they made a lot of good free agent signings too. Like no real splash guys, but they signed a lot of like real solid players. You know,
how about Austin Eckler?
Well, that's true. Yeah.
They got for rookies, they got Jake McGee, a talented linebacker from Temple. You know, yeah. I mean,
I thought the Chargers' number one problem last year was they tried to give the ball too much in Justin Herbert's hands instead of involving Austin Eckler more in the offense.
Yeah, but you got to remember Eckler's another year older though too.
Yeah,
that's true.
He was banged up. You know, but he's that back that it wears and tears you. You're beaten, you know, like a mule. But what about the guys that we drafted? Signed undrafted free agents, Joey, like we were talking earlier. What guy sticks out to you? You were saying.
So two guys. I'm a little intrigued by Gabe Hall, defensive tackle from Baylor. Now I know. I know undrafted guy, you never know, but he was actually projected to be a 4th or 5th round pick, and he looked really good in the Senior Bowl. And then they're bringing in two guys. One guy, offensive guard from Maryland, Gottlieb Ayadzi. I can't say Ayadzi. I don't know how to say his name, but anyway, he's like 6'4". They think he's think he played some tackle at Maryland, but they think he's more of a guard. Stoutland could get his hands on him. And Sean, you mentioned a guy too, a monster guy.
A kid from Howard. I'm not going to butcher his name.
Yeah, it's
another guy for Stoutland U. I mean, it only gets better, like we said, guys. I mean, mold these guys, get out all the bad kinks, and make them for what they are, a better lineman. Sky's the limit. Even kind of reface this and retool the practice squad. Things are looking bright, fellas.
Yeah, Paul Spencer says to the Commanders' fight for second place. Cowboys are finishing 3rd or 4th with the Giants. Lottery, baby. Here we go. Just happy Maris Lufa went to the boys, solid linebacker, and then Steve Greenjack says Eckler should complement Robinson nicely.
I disagree. I think the Dallas Cowboys are still the second best team in the division. They still got the second best quarterback in the division. They got the best wide receiver in the division. Their defense. They still have Michael Parsons. They still got some players on defense. Like, I think Dallas is still the number 2 team in this division. Yeah, Jalen Daniels might be all right, but I don't think Washington's going to be ready to go head to head with the Eagles or Dallas next year.
Yeah, I still think. Yeah, I still think it's too early to write Dallas off because how many times do we go into a season and you're like, the Cowboys, and then next thing you know, their draft might not look good, and then all of a sudden they got a guy like Bland like leading the league in interceptions.
Yeah, exactly. Or they lost Diggs last year, right?
Yeah.
They're going to get Diggs back this year. Michael Parsons is still one of the best defensive ends that can wreck a game by himself.
You know what I mean? Like in the backfield, the secondary, he led the league in interceptions, just like that. Next man up mentality.
Steve Greenjack says,
I know, but like check the Chiefs depth chart before the season started last year. You look at that depth chart, you're like, they ain't winning the Super Bowl. They won back-to-back Super Bowls with arguably the worst depth chart of Patrick Mahomes' career.
Yeah, but you said the difference right there, Patrick Mahomes.
That's my point, though. Dak Prescott is still the second best quarterback in the NFC East right now. So they should be competing for the second seed in the NFC East. because I still think they have the second best quarterback in the NFC East. And it usually comes down to quarterback play.
Yeah. Hey, can I tell you who's not second best? Is my man Jason Fine, aka Attorney Big Al.
He's the best.
He's the best. I mean, let me tell you something. If you slip and fall in a store and
get your bread, baby.
Yeah, get that bread, get that bread. So anyway, if you hurt yourself on the job, my man going to get you paid. Motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workers' compensation, personal injury claims. He's got 3 offices throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Another place that's not second best, Monkey's Cold Coffee. You can join the revolution. I know the Thursday night the draft was on kind of late. If you're waking up, if you're slamming some beers Thursday night, got up Friday morning feeling a little hungover, well, what better way to wake up than have some Monkey's Cold Coffee? So you could use the promo code OOTBS Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com. And you know what? Hey, I mean, we could talk draft all night long, but the bottom line is, and I could, believe me, before we get out of here, we got a red hot baseball team. And they were on
baby.
They were on the West Coast this weekend. So, people that are up late, having a couple drinks, having a couple cocktails, watching that game, definitely could have had some Monkey's Cold Coffee in the morning. Phillies are red hot. They swept San Diego. Alec Boehm killing it. Ranger Suarez killing it. Stott 2 homers.
Stott hit homers.
What do you got? 19 wins. I mean, we this is like the first time that they've gotten off to a great start, and God knows how long. What's your guys' thoughts on the Phillies right now, other than happiness, I guess?
The pitching.
A lot of people wrong.
And just right now, we have like the best pitching staff in baseball. Yeah. Our third pitcher. We lead the league. Our third pitcher is like in the running for Cy Young if the season ended right now. You know what I mean? You can't be asking for a better start to the Philly season.
And I think we need to sit down Nicky 3 Buttons because he needs a rest. He hasn't even had a rest at all. He hit a homer the other day.
Yeah, I was going to say even he's coming on a little bit, Sean. I mean, he was really sucking, but he's played a little better the last few games.
Rojas is coming around.
Yeah, Rojas hitting the ball. Defense. Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh is like if he only goes up against left-handed hitting or right-handed hitting.
No, a lot of times they sit him versus lefties. I feel like they should play him a little more because he's really coming on.
I was going to say he needs more. He needs to be played more. I don't want to. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that lefty righty take. Brandon Marsh hits the ball.
That's Topper's one thing that me and Joey were saying. He needs to get rid of that analytic bullshit. That's going to be his demise. That's really, if you think about it, going to be his demise. And then
I feel like it's been his saving grace and his demise because he made so many shitty mistakes at the end of the season that lost the series. But if he doesn't probably make all them analytical moves to get there, do we get there?
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
And just like we said, now's the time to tinker the lineup. Have Stott or Turner at leadoff. Stop with the Schwarber. Because it's going to be the same thing come playoff time. We're trying to smash balls out, and you get a team like Arizona playing small ball, and they win. Well,
yeah, but you're not going. I mean, there ain't. I mean, I understand long term what you're saying, Sean. I don't disagree with you, but they're 8-2 in their last 10, so they're not. I mean, you're not going to tinker anything right now. But you know what I mean. But
you know what I mean.
You do. But if you do go into a slump or whatever,
you keep that in your back pocket.
You know what I mean? So let's look at this week here. And it's amazing. The Phillies are 8-2 in their last 10, 19-10, but the Braves are also 8-2 in their last 10, 19-7. So it's just that's
the same shit with the Braves every year. We're like, damn, we had a great month. Then you look at the Braves and they had an equal or a better month than we did.
Yeah, so all right. Man. So let's look at this week. The Phillies have 3 in Anaheim against the Angels. Mike Trout's having a great year, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Sanchez goes tonight. So three in California, and then the Giants come here for a 4-game series. The weird Friday through Monday. You don't really see Friday through Mondays too.
No, you don't.
That's so we got 7, and actually they played Monday afternoon at 4:00. So next week when we're doing this show, the Phillies will be on. All right, so let's before we get out of here, let's get a
prediction. They're staying hot. 5-2 in the next 7.
I kind of feel that. What do you think, Sean?
6-1.
Damn, red hot, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 5-2. The Giants are playing. The Giants are actually playing some good ball too. I think the Giants just beat Pittsburgh in a series from what I remember. So they're playing good ball. And then you never know. You're playing last couple games of a long road trip. You're out in Anaheim. You could find a way to blow one of them games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see, Giant. Hang on, let me look here. Giants. The Giants. What did they do versus Pittsburgh? They won the series versus Pittsburgh. They won 2 out of 3. All right, so they're not that hot. Big deal. They won a series. All right, but yeah, I could see that, and like we said, the Phillies are red hot. So let's hope they can continue that. What do you guys think of another one before taking Turnbull? I think Turnbull's going to pitch actually this week,
Tuesday.
Taiwan Walker. I mean, he gave up 6 runs yesterday, so I don't. We'll see what happens with that, but.
Before we go, I didn't like the fact that Topper left them in 7 innings. Why? Come on. You do that to him, but you don't do it to the other guys that got the hot hand. You know what I'm saying? But
you know what? It's actually a shame because if he pulls Walker after 6, it looks like he had a quality start. He only gave up 3 runs. He puts him out there for the 7th. He gives up a 3-run shot. Next thing you know, the guy gives up 6 runs. So the top. It was funny. Topper did the exact opposite of what he usually does. Usually criticize Topper for pulling a guy too early.
True.
So, all right, guys. So anyway, go Phils. Next time we'll be on. Phillies will be playing the Giants.
Hopefully the Sixers win.
Yeah. Hey, if the Sixers do make a run, then we'll be previewing Sixers in the second round and talking about a great 3-1 comeback. So,
when are the games? Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday?
I think so. I'm not 100. Here, I'll look real quick. I'm not 100% sure when Game 7 would be. Hang on a second here.
If it's on a school night, kids, make sure you stay up for it.
Yeah, make sure.
Yeah, Saturday. Game 7 would be Saturday. So if there is a Game 7, it's Saturday.
Yeah, if we force a Game 7, it's probably a primetime game against the Knicks for Game 7, 8:00.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Hey, go Phils. Go Sixers. Let's have a miracle comeback and have a great week, everybody. We'll see you all next week.
Go Birds.
Peace out, guys.